What kind of courage does it take to face down an empire? To look at the might of France, one of the most formidable powers of the 18th century, and say, "Not on my watch." This is the story of Toussaint Louverture, the man who dared to lead a revolution in Haiti and change the course of history. Buckle up, because this tale is full of twists, turns, and a whole lot of determination. Our story begins on a Caribbean island where palm trees swayed under the warm sun, yet shadows loomed large over the lives of its people. Saint-Domingue, known today as Haiti, was the crown jewel of France's colonial empire. Its plantations produced staggering amounts of sugar and coffee, making it one of the richest colonies in the world. But this wealth came at a terrible cost, an economy built on the backs of enslaved Africans who endured unthinkable hardships. In the midst of this brutal world, a child was born around 1743 on a plantation. His name was François Dominique Toussaint, later known as Toussaint Louverture. Born into slavery, Toussaint was not destined for greatness, or so it seemed. But the world doesn't always know what it's getting when a leader is born. Toussaint's early life was marked by his extraordinary curiosity and intelligence. Unlike many of his peers, he had access to books, a rarity for someone in his position. Can you imagine a young boy born into slavery, flipping through pages of Enlightenment thinkers like Rousseau and Voltaire? It was through these words that Toussaint began to see the world differently. He learned about liberty, equality, and the power of human rights, concepts that seemed as distant as the stars. Despite his circumstances, Toussaint was freed in his early adulthood. His former owners recognized his talents and character, and he went on to manage a plantation, gaining valuable experience in leadership and diplomacy. Little did anyone know, these skills would soon be put to the ultimate test. The year was 1791, and the winds of revolution were blowing across the globe. The American and French revolutions had stirred ideas of freedom and change, and these ideas did not stop at the shores of Saint-Domingue. Inspired by these movements and fueled by their own suffering, the enslaved people of the colony rose up in rebellion. The revolt began on a dark August night. The enslaved workers, long oppressed and brutalized, took up arms against their masters. It was a daring and desperate move, a flame of hope that sought to engulf the entire island. And at the heart of this firestorm was Toussaint Louverture. Toussaint quickly emerged as a leader among the revolutionaries. He was not the loudest or the most flamboyant, but there was something about him, a quiet resolve, an unyielding spirit. Under his leadership, the rebels employed guerrilla tactics, using the mountainous terrain to their advantage. Toussaint was a master strategist, understanding that the key to victory lay not in brute force, but in clever maneuvering. Imagine being one of the French soldiers, used to traditional European warfare, suddenly facing an enemy that moved like shadows in the night, striking with precision and disappearing into the hills. It was as if the island itself had come alive to fight alongside its people. In 1793, a dramatic turn of events unfolded. The French government, engulfed in its own revolutionary chaos, abolished slavery in a bid to gain support against external threats. Sensing an opportunity, Toussaint made a strategic decision that would change the course of the revolution. He switched allegiances, joining forces with the French against the British and Spanish, who sought to seize the colony. It was a risky gamble, but Toussaint was playing the long game. By aligning with France, he secured the abolition of slavery in Saint-Domingue, a monumental victory that sent ripples through the colony. Can you imagine the jubilation, the tears of joy and relief, as people realized they were no longer property but human beings with rights and dignity? With the British and Spanish driven out, Toussaint turned his attention to rebuilding the colony. He understood that freedom was not just the absence of chains, but the presence of opportunity and stability. He set about restoring the economy, encouraging former slaves to work on the plantations for wages. It was a delicate balance, maintaining the productivity of the colony while ensuring the dignity of its workers. Toussaint's vision was ambitious. He saw a future where Saint-Domingue could be a beacon of black freedom and prosperity. He drafted a new constitution that declared him governor for life, a controversial move that raised eyebrows in France. Was this a bid for power or a necessary step to protect his fragile nation? Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, a short man with grand ambitions was watching closely. Napoleon Bonaparte, newly crowned as the ruler of France, had his eyes set on reasserting control over the Americas. Saint-Domingue was a crucial part of this vision, and Napoleon was not one to let go of his ambitions easily. In 1802, Napoleon sent his brother-in-law, General Charles Leclerc, with a formidable force to retake the colony. It was a move that could either secure Napoleon's empire or spell its doom. Toussaint, ever the strategist, prepared to face this new threat. He knew that this battle was not just for the island, but for the very idea of freedom. Toussaint's forces fought valiantly against the French, employing the same tactics that had served them well before. But this time, the challenge was greater. The French forces were relentless, and internal divisions among the revolutionaries weakened their resistance. Despite his brilliance, Toussaint faced a formidable foe in Leclerc, who was determined to crush the rebellion. In a twist of fate, Toussaint was invited to negotiate under a flag of truce, a gesture that turned out to be a deceitful trap. He was captured and sent to France, imprisoned in a cold, damp cell in the Jura Mountains. Alone, far from his beloved homeland, Toussaint would never see Saint-Domingue again. Before his death in 1803, Toussaint reportedly declared, "In overthrowing me, you have cut down in Saint-Domingue only the trunk of the tree of liberty. It will spring up again by the roots, for they are numerous and deep." Was it prophetic wisdom or the wishful thinking of a defeated man? Only time would tell. Back in Saint-Domingue, the fight for freedom was far from over. Toussaint's vision and leadership had laid the groundwork for victory. Jean-Jacques Dessalines, one of Toussaint's trusted generals, stepped up to continue the struggle. With fiery determination, he led the final push against the French forces. On January 1st, 1804, the dream Toussaint had fought for became a reality. Saint-Domingue declared its independence, renaming itself Haiti, and becoming the first black republic in the world. The Haitian Revolution sent shockwaves around the globe. It was a beacon of hope for enslaved and oppressed people everywhere, challenging the established order and racial hierarchies. It was a testament to the power of determination and the human spirit's desire for freedom. Interestingly, the revolution had unexpected consequences far beyond the Caribbean. Napoleon's ambitions in the New World were thwarted, leading him to sell the Louisiana Territory to the United States in 1803. This deal, known as the Louisiana Purchase, doubled the size of the U.S. and paved the way for its westward expansion. Who would have thought that the actions of a former slave would shape the future of an entire continent? If you've enjoyed this journey through history, be sure to like this video and subscribe to Tropical AI History for more fascinating stories. Join us as we explore the past and uncover the incredible tales that shape our world. Peace, love, and stay curious, my friends.